visionary, an entrepreneur, a business owner. You want to make money from your passion and create the freedom that you've dreamed of. But it's slow. The income is slow, the impact is slow, and the freedom is slow. And here's the kicker. You've actually never been busier. You're working longer than ever, burning through daylight, and your family have forgotten who you are. You're tired and frustrated and you can't even sleep well at night. The business just feels so heavy, and all you ever wanted to do was just make the money you want to make doing the things that you want to do. And that's where I come in. Hi, if we haven't met yet, my name is Dr. Storme, and I'm the host of the Business Acceleration Podcast, where we shift your business from heavy to light, time poor to time abundant, and from income lack to income growth. We're going to achieve it together with my 20 years experience as a psychologist, helping people just like you to break through their barriers. And we're going to throw in a little of the woo as well. So thank you so much for pushing play today. Let's begin. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Business Acceleration Podcast. My name's Dr. Storme, and I am so pleased that you're here today because two reasons, and I'm bursting to tell you both of them. First of all, as you know, at the end of every episode, I always invite everybody to get in touch with me and let me know what they like about the podcast, what they don't, how it can be improved, things like that. And anyway, what's been a little bit of a theme lately has been an interest in having guests on the show that are also entrepreneurs. I think absolutely there's so much value in being able to hear about the journey that our colleagues have been on. And so for that reason, what I did was I opened up invitations to entrepreneurs in Australia and around the world who are all at different stages of their business, all from different backgrounds, and I've chosen the best applicants to be on the show. And on Monday, so 2 days ago, I interviewed 6 of them, and I've got another 10 to interview this week. And what's going to happen is every Wednesday, you will get to hear an interview with a guest all about, so far it's been women, so far about her journey and what she's doing, how she came to be doing it, the challenges she's experienced, her tips for you, and what she's finding to be so rewarding about being her own boss and creating 6-figure income. So I'm so excited to release those, and the first one comes out on Wednesday next week, and we have a very beautiful soul coming on. Her name is Crystal Allen. And she has such an inspiring story, and you'll be missing out if you don't hear it. So make sure to hit subscribe on the podcast so that you get a notification when it comes up. And the other thing too is tomorrow it's Thursday, and I will be doing a free live webinar with no selling or anything like that, just to help you learn some of the fundamentals of building your email list from a place of total alignment with who you are, with your values and your vision, but also with your brand vision and your audience. So I'm super pumped to do that. We've had a lot of registrations, and I just can't wait for tomorrow night to do it. So if you haven't registered yet, you can head over to my website, just click the reserve my seat button and you're set. I'll put a link in the show notes. So now today, what I want to talk to you about is this whole idea of taking action in your business. And the reason that I want to talk to you about this is because, well, you know me, I listen to lots of podcasts too, like you guys do. And somebody was talking there about how you don't have to take action. And she was very passionate about, the other teachers have got it wrong because action's got nothing to do with it, so to speak. So it was very interesting to listen to, and I could hear her commitment to this idea in the way that she was talking. But, I guess I was putting on my critical thinking hat, and I was trying to listen to what she was saying. I was being open and I was trying to get on board with it, but I just can't. And so I thought today I might share it with you because perhaps, I'm not the only one that's thinking about action when it comes to manifesting in your business. But for me, the whole manifesting thing, it's been around for eons, okay? Eons. I think in terms of pop culture, it became very, very popular and widely known with the release of the book and the movie called The Secret. And what happened there was it generated a lot of interest, which was amazing. However, it was a little bit misleading in that it didn't give people all the tools and strategies that they needed to be able to manifest. It gave them parts of things rather than the full thing. Kind of like when people say, I'm running a webinar, and they give you 1 or 2 steps and you really need all 6. It's kind of like that. You need all 6 to be able to do whatever you're signing up for on this webinar. It's the same with The Secret. They gave you like a couple of steps, but not the full kit and caboodle. And so what happened was people were trying, they couldn't manifest anything. And then they were like, manifesting's BS and this doesn't work and da-da-da-da-da. So anyway, one of the big things that people often talk about is, I think it was in that movie. I haven't seen the full movie. I tried to watch it. I honestly tried to watch it, but I couldn't get past all the background images of, I don't know. It was just, it didn't sit well with me. So I watched about 5 or 10 minutes. But anyway, apparently there's this scene where somebody's sitting on the couch and they are told that they can just think about what they want, close their eyes, and they're going to get it. And people took that very literally, and it didn't work. And then, they rubbish manifestation as a result of that. So I think it's a real shame. Anyway, so this person was talking about how upset she was that other teachers were saying that action is essential for manifesting. And she was alluding to the idea of what we know, what you and I know to be a placebo effect. And she was using that as her example of how you really don't need to take any action. If you just believe something's going to happen, it will happen. So if you don't know what a placebo effect is, basically it's when it started with doctors and clinical trials with medications. They would test the effectiveness of a medication on 2 groups, and they would tell both of the groups that they were having the medicine for whatever ailment it was. When in reality, only one group was actually getting the medication. The other group was having a sugar pill, which is called a placebo. And what ended up happening was people who took the sugar pills were getting the same results, but none of the side effects as the people who were taking the, air quotes, real medication. And so that's what a placebo effect refers to. It refers to people being able to get results based on a belief that something's going to work with them. So this lady's saying, you can manifest whatever you want if you believe that it's going to happen because it's going to work on the same way as a placebo effect. And I think, okay, maybe for some people that might work, sure. But I think it's probably more likely that people are going to have to take some kind of action. And by that, I mean, you have to get yourself into alignment to be a better vibrational match with that you're trying to call into your reality, right? This means you have to have an alignment practice, and by its very nature, an alignment practice is action. You have to do a visualization to know what you want and to get into the right vibrational place to be able to call it in. That's action. Maybe you're going to meditate and, think about all of the things that you want and how that's going to make you feel. That's taking action, and that's an alignment-based action. Maybe you're going to do pray rain journaling. We've spoken about this before, but pray rain journaling is where you take a little notebook and in it each day you write down as if you already have the thing that you're manifesting. So it's like a gratitude diary in a way. And by the end of the book, what's meant to have happened is you will have manifested the thing that you're working on calling into your reality. But even doing the pray rain journaling is still action. Okay, making sure that you do things that raise your vibration is an action. Journaling, to journal prompts, to look at your limiting beliefs about why you can't or why you shouldn't or why you're not worthy enough, that's taking action. So I respectfully disagree with my colleague about this idea that you don't have to take any action. You can just want it and that's enough. I think that might be true maybe in a small percentage of cases, but I think by and large you need to do something, because pure and simple fact, you are not going to get what you're working on if you are not in a vibrational match to it. Okay? How do you get into vibrational alignment? Easy. The best way to do that is to do things that lift you up, that light you up, that make you feel really, 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 really good. So, that might be you want to listen to some high vibe music, In my group that I had, it was last year or the year before, I had a group called Manifest Change in Facebook, and we all together created a high vibe playlist, and everybody contributed ideas of songs that they wanted to put on this playlist, and it's still out there now if you want to go and listen to it. I think it's just called the High Vibe Playlist, and you can download it on Apple iTunes, and that's a great way to really raise and elevate your vibration. Something else that you can do is, exercise, get good sleep, drink water. You can do things like raise your vibration by being around people that excite you, support you, make you believe in yourself even more. Being around positive people, avoiding things that might pull you down or put you in a low mood, or avoiding people that might put you in a low mood. Okay, there's so many things that you can do. The other thing that you can do, of course, and you all should have this in place by now, and that is an alignment practice. So practice means it's something that you do every single day, right? You're practicing it, just like our actors practice their lines before they go on camera. It's like training for the guys who are playing footy at the AFL. They've got to do their training. They've got to have their football practice. Well, we also have to be practicing our alignment, and you need to find the way that's going to work best for you. I'll share with you what I do in case you don't know, but I have mentioned it before. So I drive to work listening to a podcast that's high vibe. Okay, I can recommend, I think it's a podcast called Expanded that I was recently put onto by another colleague of mine, Emma Dunwoody, and that's a really, really good one. There's Soul Wealth podcast, that's another good one. So I like to listen to all of these sorts of things. Puts me in a good mood, opens my mind a little bit while I'm coming down to work. The other thing I'll do on my way to work before I start listening to the podcast is there's a stretch of road I drive down, and it's called Coolart Road in Hastings. I go up Frankston Flinders Road, there's a little roundabout there, and then I turn right and I come down Coolart Road into Frankston. And it's beautiful because there's so many paddocks, and there's horses, and there's alpacas or llamas, there's chickens, there's mountain goats, there's the tallest Christmas trees lining the road up and down the full length of this road. The farms everywhere, and when I'm driving to work, the sun is still rising, and so it's that beautiful golden light that's falling onto everything, and I just feel like I'm driving into a painting, and I feel so appreciative when I'm driving down there. So as soon as I turn onto that road, I look at my dashboard clock, and then I tell myself, right, for 1 minute, you're going to say out loud as fast as you can everything that you're thankful for and everything that you're grateful for. And I do that as a little challenge for myself. And by the time I get to the end of that minute, guess what? I feel amazing and I feel really excited. And then I hit play on the radio. I've got Apple CarPlay, so I hit play on that, listen to the podcast. It gets me to work, perfect timing. I come into work, and then before I open up my laptop, before I talk to anybody, I just come into my room, I close the door, and I allow myself a couple of minutes to pray, rain, journal. So I'm writing down in my journal everything that I want to manifest as if it's already happened, okay? So I do that, and that only takes me a couple of minutes, and then boom, I'm good for the day. I have lunch every day from 12 to 1 o'clock, and I always wanted to meditate, but I didn't ever think I was very good at it. It was something I struggled with. And, people would say, do it in the morning before you get out of bed. I tried, and it made the day really hard and heavy for me because I was feeling tired. And then other people said, do it before you go to sleep because your mind is more receptive, and your mind is more receptive. But I've trained my body so well that when I lay horizontal, I just fall asleep within minutes. So there's no point in me meditating because I just fall asleep to the meditation, and meditation isn't meant to make you go to sleep. It's meant to keep you alert and focusing on the thing that you're trying to manifest. So what has been working for me, and it's new that I've been doing this year, is I meditate in my lunch break. I'm at work, I'm all awake and energized and things like that. I've got a beautiful recliner in my office. I eat my lunch, I have a full belly, I have a drink of herbal tea, and then I just put my Bluetooth headphones on. I tell people I'm not contactable for the next 12 minutes because that's how long my meditation goes for. And I just close my eyes and I just allow myself to do this guided meditation. And then I feel great when it's done, and then boom, I'm fresh and ready for the balance of my clients, which I see from 1 o'clock till 5 o'clock or 1 o'clock till 6 o'clock. I feel great. And then on the way home from work, I'll listen to music that I just like to bop along to in the car. So you just have to find the alignment practice that's really going to work for you. You know, I had to try many things before I settled into my own routine with it, but now I've got my own routine. It feels amazing. But anyway, the point of this episode today was to get you thinking about the role of action for you and your manifesting. My colleague believes no action's required. I believe that action's essential, but you need to make up your own mind about what is going to work for you. Okay, so a couple of transformation questions because I know everybody's really enjoying these at the moment, and I really love giving them to you. But I guess the first thing would be I'll grab a pen and paper and hit pause so you can write these down. But the first question would be, what do I really want if there were no obstacles? Okay, what would I really want if there were no obstacles? So all I'm asking you there is, let's imagine I say to you, what would you really like? And you say, well, I'd really like to be location free and live in Tuscany and, you know, make $1,000 an hour, seeing my ideal clients, but I can't because I'm married and we've got a mortgage and I can't take Johnny out of school. I'm saying forget about Johnny and the marriage and the mortgage. If none of that was an issue, what would you really like to be doing? Okay, so allow yourself to just dream. This is your private dream, your private vision, okay? Nobody needs to know. It's not selfish to have it. Just write it down. The next question is, what action could I take now that feels right in order for me to become a better match to the things I want to call into my life? What action could I take now that feels right in order to become a better match for it? Okay, so there are lots of different things that you can do. And hey, if you want to take no action, you write down, well, I'm not going to take any action. That's what feels right for me right now. That's fine. And you're not locked into these answers either. This is just how you feel today. I mean, next week you might feel differently, and you might find different action that feels right so that you can become a better vibrational match for things. Okay, and the third one is, what would become available to me if I took aligned action? What would become available to me if I took aligned action? So let's say you did want to manifest more money, or let's say you did want to manifest more clients. What's going to become available for you if you take aligned action and you build a practice around that? What do you think will open up for you? That's what you want to start thinking about, okay? Now, there's a whole lot of science, as you know, around this as well, and I would direct anybody who's interested to perhaps read Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza. He's probably one of the better known proponents of the neuroscience behind it. Now, Joe's background is that he's a chiropractor, but he's gone on and done more research into manifesting and the neuroscience behind it, and also around the quantum components of manifesting. Okay. All right. Now, that wraps it up for today. Thank you so much for listening. I really, 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 really love having you here. And yes, if you have any questions or comments or want to start a discussion about the relevance of action in manifestation, go for it and tag me in it, because I would love to be part of that dialogue. Or you can send me an email anytime as well. My email address is just hello@brooklynstorm.com. And as you know, Storm has an E on the end. I'll put my email in the show notes for you as well. So from here, you'll get another podcast from me on Saturday. Of course, I'm open to receiving suggestions for topics. If you have a problem you want some guidance around, if you have a question that you would like an answer to, don't hesitate to email me, because I really want this to be an interactive conversation between you and I. So I love that, and I respond to all of my emails. And then what's going to happen is on Wednesday next week, you will get to hear from our very first guest, Crystal Allen. So thank you so much for listening, guys. Have an amazing rest of the week, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. Thank you so much for listening today. I really hope that you enjoyed it and got a lot of value from it. Help me help others by sharing this podcast. And if you feel called to leave a review on Apple Podcasts, remember to let me know so that I can send you a very special thank you gift. Now go and build your dream business, and I will see you next time. Bye.